let's go live to the trading desk first. Victor Adair joins me. Vic, I want to talk about the U.S. dollar for a moment here.
Okay.
Well, go ahead.
well,
no, I'm just wondering what you made of the action this past week. I look at that U.S. dollar sort of turning around, it looks like.
Yeah, from the perspective of my short-term trading, and I want to be clear about that, I think we had a very significant turn in the U.S. dollar May the 3rd, which was Tuesday of last week. The U.S. dollar traded down to the lows it's had so far this year and then had a pretty significant bounce that would imply that other currencies like the Canadian dollar, the euro, that sort of thing, fell. Why it's important is because the U.S. dollar is sort of the other side of so many trades, certainly the other side of other currencies and commodities. This spring, we've seen weakness in the U.S. dollar and strength in the Canadian dollar, other currencies, and in commodities, including gold and WTI. If I'm right, and believe me, I'm just saying, this is a trade I'm looking at, if the U.S. dollar actually did make an important turn higher last week, then those other markets that have been rising this spring probably are going to fall in the period ahead.
And it still plays into what John Johnson was saying in that he's expecting the short-term weakness in the Canadian dollar at this point. It's
and I really like John. You know, we've known each other for years. Had a wonderful dinner with him this spring at the the World Outlook Conference, and I would be very much in agreement with his call here that the Canadian dollar probably fall back into the low 70-cent area. And I think he said 73 to 75 cents over the next 3 months. Yeah. I'm very comfortable with that. I'd agree.
I want to come to gold for a second here, too, though, Vic, as you've been looking at it. And it may play just to what you've just said, that against a stronger U.S. dollar, gold may have some challenges.
Well, let me say one of the tools that I use a lot is I pay attention to what I call positioning risk in the market. The Canadian dollar back in January, people had a huge short bet against the Canadian dollar right at the bottom. Now with gold, speculators have piled into the gold market here the past couple of months, and the other side of the trade, they're buying, somebody's got to be selling. The other side are what we call commercials. The commercial accounts in the gold market now have their largest ever short position in gold. So I'm kind of I like to say when the market gets that lopsided, maybe we lurch the other way. And if the U.S. dollar does get some traction to the upside here, and gold does start to fall, a lot of those speculators could be going, oh my God, let's get me out, and that could put some downside pressure on gold.
Well, we'll be here to chronicle it every step of the way. This is the short-term trading stuff with Victor Adair live at our trading desk. Have a great weekend, Victor.
Thanks, Mike. You too.